Chapter 1. The Slow Fade of Day. The day begins its slow, soft fade, an exhalation of light across the forested land that seems to happen not in moments, but in a long, drawn out and sacred sigh. A profound hush descends, not a mere emptiness or absence of sound, but a palpable presence, a quiet and ancient invitation to rest that settles over the entire landscape like a soft weighted blanket. The sun, now a burnished liquid orb kissing the forested crest of the distant hills, relinquishes its fiery midday brilliance. Its light, which hours before was a sharp, bright, uncompromising blade that bleached the color from the world, now softens into a gentle fading and deeply compassionate glow. It paints the trembling, delicate edges of the aspen and willow leaves with a translucent, almost liquid gold, transforming the mundane details of the forest into something ethereal and magical. Shadows, which at noon were but timid, shrinking pools of darkness huddled at the base of trees and stones, now stretch long and deep, growing bold and confident in the diminishing light. They unfurl like vast ribbons of velvet in shades of indigo and charcoal, unspooling languidly across the mossy, root-tangled forest floor. They reach for one another, merging and flowing together until the ground itself seems to dissolve, becoming a single soft and bottomless shadow. The air itself undergoes a profound and tangible transformation. The dry, dusty warmth of the afternoon, thick with the scent of sun-baked pine needles and pollen, gives way to a gathering coolness. It is a soft, damp breath that seems to rise directly from the earth, carrying the first hints of dew. This coolness settles over the water, and the pond in turn offers its own clean mineral scent, a cool green fragrance that is the very essence of life. The air becomes a carrier for the deep, complex, and earthy scent of the forest, a subtle and layered perfume that speaks of ancient cyclical processes. One can distinguish the sharp, clean, resinous scent of pine, the rich, almost sweet fragrance of decaying leaves as they break down into humus, the dark, fertile aroma of rich, damp soil, and the faint, almost ghostly perfume of unseen mushrooms blooming in the hidden, dark, and damp places beneath fallen logs. This cool air drifts across the pond, a gentle caress on the water's surface. Chapter 2. The Creature of Twilight. The water of the pond lies utterly, perfectly still, a flawless, dark mirror of polished obsidian. It reflects the deepening spectacle of the sky, the high, thin clouds painted in shades of violet and soft, bruised rose, the sky above them a deepening, fathomless purple. The water holds these last whispers of the day, a quiet, unblemished surface that seems to be waiting, holding its breath for the night to fully embrace it in its cool, dark, and loving arms. A tiny, almost imperceptible ripple might spread from the tall, slender cattails that line the shore, a gentle sigh of the water as it settles completely into its evening calm. It is in this sacred quiet that the first hint of new life, a new energy, stirs. A subtle shift in the water near the muddy bank, a disturbance too deliberate and smooth to be the wind, too quiet for a fish. The dark, sleek, and rounded head of a beaver emerges, breaking the glassy surface with barely a sound, sending a single, perfect silver ring spreading outwards. Its small dark eyes, adapted more for the dim, refracted light of the underwater world than for the brightness of day, survey the shoreline with a calm and steady gaze. Its small rounded ears, which can close watertight, twitch, catching the faintest sounds, the snap of a distant twig, the rustle of leaves. Its nose, positioned high on its head, along with its eyes and ears, allows it to breathe and perceive the world, while the rest of its powerful body remains safely submerged, a dark and indistinct shape beneath the surface. Classified as both nocturnal and crepuscular, the beaver's life unfolds in these gentle, fading, and growing lights of dusk and dawn. It is a creature perfectly and beautifully attuned to the rhythms of transition. High above, the forest canopy, a vast, dark, and intricate quilt of overlapping leaves from birch, maple, and oak, begins to merge completely with the deepening twilight. The trees stand tall, silent, and motionless, their powerful silhouettes becoming one with the deepening night. As the last vestiges of color drain from the sky, a faint, ethereal shimmer appears on the water's surface. It is the first hint of moonlight, a soft silvered pathway beginning to unfold across the dark, glassy expanse. The beaver, a master of this tranquil domain, pushes away from the bank, its large webbed hind feet propelling it in a silent, powerful, and efficient stroke. Its world is one of deep, calm water, a silent liquid guardian against the bitter cold and the constant threat of predators, a gentle amniotic embrace for its meticulously constructed home. The beaver's activity aligns perfectly with the deepening night, a natural rhythm of settling down, of beginning its true and essential work as the rest of the world prepares for rest. And so, too, can your mind follow its peaceful lead into the stillness. Chapter 3: The Forest's Gift of Wood. From the quiet, shadowed depths of the now moon drenched forest, where silver light filters through the dense canopy in shifting, ghostly, and silent patterns, the earth offers its elemental and honest gifts. The beaver, now fully emerged and confident in the protective cloak of night, moves with a quiet, unhurried, and purposeful grace. Its movements are never rushed or careless, always deliberate, measured, and certain. It paddles along the shoreline, a dark shape in the darker water, its keen and sensitive sense of smell guiding it toward a promising stand of young aspen trees, their pale bark glowing faintly in the moonlight. Each choice it makes is made with an ancient, innate knowing. It is a silent, cellular wisdom, encoded in its very DNA, passed down through countless generations of successful builders. The sounds that accompany this sacred and constructive work are soft and organic, a gentle, rhythmic symphony of nature's patient and purposeful industry. First, the beaver selects a young poplar tree, its trunk no more than 4 inches in diameter. It doesn't choose randomly. It circles the base, its sensitive nose pressed against the bark, sniffing, gathering information about the tree's health and vitality. Then, rising on its hind legs, braced by its broad, flat tail, the work begins. The signature sound of the beaver's craft fills the still night air, the rhythmic, gentle gnawing. It is a soft but incredibly persistent rasping, a focused and delicate nibbling as the beaver's incredibly strong, iron-hardened incisors, a deep orange from the metal incorporated into their enamel, work with quiet, focused purpose. This is not the harsh, splintering, violent sound of destruction, but a sound that speaks of methodical precision, of patience and steady, unwavering effort, never sudden, never jarring. The beaver's lower incisors, self sharpening to a razor's edge, slice cleanly through the wood fibers, while the powerful upper incisors act as a lever, pulling the chips free. The sound is a steady, meditative shush 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 of wood being shaved away, punctuated by the soft thud of the beaver shifting its stance to get a better angle. Finally, with a sharp, resonant crack that echoes momentarily in the quiet woods, the tree gives way, falling with a great sighing swoosh of leaves and a heavy percussive splash into the waiting, welcoming water. Chapter 4: The Offering of Mud and Stone. Imagine the deep, rich browns and silvery grays of the aspen bark, rough and textured, holding the silent stories of the tree's seasons in its furrows, ridges, and diamond shaped lenticels. Now see the lighter, paler hues of the freshly cut wood, the creamy white heartwood revealed, smelling fresh, green, and vibrantly alive. Beavers show a clear and consistent preference for certain types of trees, favoring the soft woods of aspen, poplar, willow, and alder, not just for construction, but as their primary essential food source. But wood is not the only material. There are the rich dark tones of wet earth, which the beaver will scoop from the pond's bottom with its front paws, clutching the precious cargo against its chest as it swims, its chin held high. This mud is soft, pliable, and cool to the touch, ready to be shaped into a natural waterproof mortar. These are the colors of the forest floor, the muted, harmonious, and calming hues of nature's own quiet, functional palette. The felled branches will be fit together like the pieces of a gentle, three-dimensional, intuitive puzzle. A smooth, flat stone might be chosen from the stream bed, cool and solid to the touch, and rolled and pushed with nose and paws to the building site, a silent, heavy anchor to be incorporated into the growing structure, adding crucial weight and stability against the persistent pressure of the current. Feel the rough, grooved texture of the aspen bark beneath your imaginary touch, the surprising coolness and heft of a river-washed stone cradled in your hands. And then, the yielding, pliable sensation of the mud, soft and cool, being shaped and patted between the paws, its elemental wetness clinging softly to the dense, oily fur. The air, already fragrant with the scent of the damp forest, now carries the fresh, slightly resinous scent of broken wood and the deep, raw, earthy aroma of disturbed soil and decaying aquatic plants. It is a scent of creation, of quiet, purposeful industry, a fragrance that speaks of home and hearth, of sustenance and profound security. The beaver simply receives these gifts, and with its ancient hardwired knowing begins its patient, methodical work of transformation. Chapter 5: Shaping the Watery Realm. The first crucial pieces of the structure, whether it be a new dam to create a life giving pond or the lodge itself, are chosen with the precision of a master engineer and the intuitive grace of an artist. It is a silent, instinctual decision, guided by that ancient cellular knowing that resonates within the beaver's very being. The beaver selects the perfect location, often a narrow point in a flowing stream for a dam, a place where the banks are high and the effort will yield the greatest result. If the water is not deep enough to protect its home, a dam will be meticulously built first, a gentle yet persistent reshaping of the entire environment to create the perfect protected and stable haven. The purpose of the dam is singular and absolutely vital: to raise the water level, creating a deep, placid moat that ensures the entrances to the future lodge remain submerged deep beneath the surface, hidden from the keen eyes and sharp claws of land based threats. The construction of the dam is a breathtaking marvel. The beaver begins by driving larger, thicker sticks and logs into the stream bed, orienting them vertically, butt end down, to form a primary barrier. It works against the current, using the force of the water to help wedge the materials into place. Then it begins to weave a dense lattice of smaller branches, twigs, reeds, and even stones horizontally through these upright supports. The sounds of this foundational work are muffled and indistinct, softened and distorted by the water's gentle, constant, and forgiving embrace. There is a soft, waterlogged thunk as a submerged stick finds its designated place. The sound of the water itself begins to change, its free flowing, talkative gurgle slowly quieting, deepening into a slower, more resonant hum as the pond begins to form and the water level rises. The air at the water's surface carries the clean, fresh scent of moving water, subtly mixed with the faint, raw earthiness of the disturbed riverbed. It is the smell of a world being remade, of an ecosystem being born. Chapter 6: Weaving the Walls of Sanctuary. Now, with the water level of the pond secured by the new dam, the lodge itself begins to rise from the surface. It emerges like a primal organic creation, a gentle conical mound of intricately interwoven branches and soft, dark, glistening mud. Each stick, each log, is ferried to the site and placed with a deliberate and focused intention. Each scoop of rich clay like pond bottom mud is pressed firmly and carefully into the growing structure, meticulously filling every void between the woody latticework. The sounds of this phase of construction are soft, close, and deliberate, a soothing, hypnotic rhythm that settles upon the night air. There is the gentle, woody thud of a branch settling into its chosen place. This is followed by a quiet, satisfying, and wet squelch as mud is pressed firmly into the gaps. And then the characteristic pat 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 of its broad, flat, leathery tail, a craftsman's tool used with gentle precision, tamping and firming the mud, smoothing the surface until the wall is virtually airtight and waterproof. Visually, the rising dome shape of the lodge becomes more apparent with each passing hour, a quiet marvel of natural architecture emerging from the dark, still water. At first, it is a chaotic looking jumble of sticks pointing in every direction, but as the work progresses, a clear and strong conical form takes shape. It is a dense mosaic of interlocked branches, where each piece contributes to the compressive strength of the whole, like a well built stone arch. The smooth, dark sheen of wet mud covers the entire exterior, save for a small, porous patch at the very peak. This mud is a protective, insulating skin that will dry and harden in the sun and wind, becoming almost as solid and unyielding as cement, providing a formidable defense against the elements and predators. This is a patient, persistent, and unwavering effort, a gradual and magical transformation of simple raw materials into a sturdy, protective, and elegant form, piece by slow, deliberate piece. Chapter 7: The Inner Chambers of Peace. Our journey now takes us inward, past the formidable, mud plastered outer walls, through the shimmering, protective veil of water, and into the very heart of the lodge, a space of profound peace, absolute nurturing darkness, and a gentle living warmth. The entrance is a well guarded secret, an underwater tunnel hidden deep beneath the surface. It is a perfect liquid defense against the land bound world. As one imagines slipping through this liquid doorway, the cool, silken embrace of the water gives way to a dramatically different and welcoming sensation, a crossing of a sacred threshold from the open, wild world outside to the enclosed, dry, and soft warmth held securely within. Inside, the sounds of the forest and the pond are immediately and dramatically muffled, softened to a distant, almost imaginary murmur by the thick, sound absorbing walls. A profound sense of quiet settles in this space, a gentle cradling and ancient hush that cushions the air and seems to slow time itself. The only sounds to be heard here are the subtle, intimate sounds of life at its most peaceful. The quiet, rhythmic drip, drip, drip of water from wet fur. The soft, steady, almost inaudible collective breathing of the beaver family as they rest together in a communal pile of warmth, fur, and kinship. And perhaps a faint, contented murmur from the kits, nestled deep within the shredded wood and soft grasses of their communal nest. The scene is one of deep, comforting, and absolute darkness. It is a nurturing, womb like darkness, full of a quiet, protective, and living presence. The inner chamber is a true sanctuary. Often it has two distinct levels, a lower platform for drying off and a higher, drier shelf for sleeping. The tactile experience is one of pure comfort and security. The smooth, packed mud walls radiate a gentle warmth. The bedding is a soft, springy mattress of finely shredded wood fibers and dried grasses. The overwhelming sensation is one of being completely and safely enclosed, a fortress of peace in the heart of the pond. Chapter 8. The Rhythm of Constant Care. The monumental work of the beaver is never truly finished. It is a lifelong generational commitment. The lodge and the dam, once built, are not static monuments, but living, breathing structures that require constant, gentle, and diligent care. This ongoing maintenance becomes the underlying rhythm of their lives, a continuous, quiet, and purposeful cycle of inspection, repair, and reinforcement. The beaver family moves with an unhurried, collective purpose, each member contributing to the well being of their shared home. The sounds of the pond are now the sounds of this continuous care. There is the steady musical trickle of water finding its way through a small new leak in the dam. This sound for a beaver is an auditory beacon, an instinctual call to action. Soon, you will hear the soft splash and the determined, steady paddling of a beaver heading toward the sound, followed by the wet, sticky sounds of fresh mud and new sticks being expertly applied until the trickle is silenced. There is also the gentle, meticulous scritch scratch of a beaver sitting on the lodge's edge in the moonlight, grooming its dense, waterproof fur with a specialized split grooming claw on its hind foot. This is an essential ritual of self care, applying waterproofing oil from glands near its tail, a quiet, personal sound of contentment and cleanliness that ensures its survival in the cold water. The overall feeling is one of quiet, purposeful industry, of things being perpetually set right, maintained in a state of perfect functioning and dynamic balance. There is no frantic urgency, no wasted energy, only the steady, predictable, and deeply reassuring flow of life's essential tasks. This cyclical, unending nature of maintenance ensures the long term integrity and safety of the entire beaver created ecosystem. Chapter 9. The Foresight of the Winter Pantry. Part of the constant rhythm of care is a remarkable act of foresight that peaks in the autumn months. As the air grows crisper and the nights longer, the beaver's work turns toward ensuring survival through the long frozen winter. This is the creation of the underwater food cache. From the ingenious underwater larder, faint, muffled gnawing sounds might be heard throughout the winter. This is where the family, one by one, will access their pantry, enjoying the nutrient rich bark from their stored branches and logs. This submerged pantry ensures their survival through the long, lean, and frozen months when ice seals the surface of the pond, cutting them off from the forest above. The creation of this cache is a monumental effort. The beavers fell numerous trees, cutting them into manageable lengths. These branches are then dragged and floated to a spot near the lodge in deep water. They are meticulously pushed and anchored to the pond bottom, often weighted down with heavier, less palatable logs or large stones to prevent them from floating away or being frozen in the surface ice. Visually, it becomes a great submerged tangle of branches, a sunken treasure trove of life sustaining food. This brilliant strategy ensures a fresh, accessible food supply because the cold water preserves the nutritional value of the bark, even when a thick layer of ice covers the pond for months on end. The underwater food cache is a true marvel of natural foresight and engineering, a testament to the beaver's ability to plan and prepare. This consistent, soft background of preparation becomes a gentle, rhythmic backdrop to life in the pond, reinforcing a profound sense of safety, preparedness, and predictability. Chapter 10. The Lodge in the Deep of Night. As the night deepens and the great silent wheel of the stars turns slowly overhead, bringing the world closer to the quietest hour before dawn, the Beaver's Lodge stands as a potent and powerful symbol of profound tranquility. It is a vital, beating heart of the wild, a living testament to natural harmony and an enduring peace. The surrounding world, the forest and the fields beyond, settles into its deepest slumber. The frenetic energy of the day is a distant, almost unbelievable memory. In the lodge, a dark, quiet, breathing mound in the center of the silvered water holds its quiet, watchful vigil under the silent, ancient gaze of the moon and the distant, glittering constellations. The soundscape has softened to its most elemental state. There is the distant, lonely, and mournful hoot of a great horned owl, a sound that does not break the silence, but instead defines its vastness. From the pond itself, there is only the faintest ripple of water, lapping gently and rhythmically against the mud caked walls of the lodge, an impossibly quiet echo of the water's calm, protective presence. Faint, contented sounds might be perceived emanating from within the lodge itself, a gentle echo of life at its most peaceful, a soft, sleepy murmur from the beaver family, nestled together in a pile of shared warmth. Visually, the deep, encompassing darkness is a comforting blanket, not a source of fear. A single bright star, perhaps Polaris, might find a momentary gap in the forest canopy, twinkling like a distant, silent, and benevolent guardian. The soft, diffused moonlight on the water continues its slow, hypnotic dance, painting shimmering, silvered pathways across the still black surface. A feeling of complete, utter stillness and profound safety pervades the entire scene. Chapter 11: The Heartbeat of the Ecosystem. The lodge stands not just as a home for a single family, but as a testament to quiet, enduring, and generative life. Beavers are keystone species, true and powerful ecosystem engineers. By building their dams and creating their ponds, they craft vibrant, thriving wetlands that support a staggering multitude of other species, from the smallest invertebrates to the largest mammals. The quiet work of one family sends ripples of life throughout the entire landscape. These ponds become vital nurseries for countless species of fish and amphibians, their still, shallow waters providing a refuge for eggs and young. They become critical feeding grounds for herons, ospreys, and kingfishers who hunt along the banks. They become essential drinking holes for deer, bear, and moose who are drawn to the reliable source of water. The willows and alders that thrive in the moist soil around the pond, a direct result of the raised water table, provide essential food and habitat for songbirds and small mammals. These beaver made wetlands also act as nature's own kidneys, serving as natural filters that trap sediment and pollutants, purifying water as it flows downstream. They act as giant natural sponges, mitigating the destructive effects of both floods and droughts by slowing the flow of water during wet periods and releasing it slowly during dry spells. The river itself, gently shaped and profoundly altered by this small industrious family, becomes a powerful metaphor for the intricate interconnectedness of all life, a symbol of our own journey within the vast and complex web of the natural world. The lodge is the center of this web, the quiet heartbeat of a thriving ecosystem. Chapter 12: A Gateway to Stillness. The air in the deep of night now carries the clean scent of the forest at rest, the subtle perfume of damp earth, the rich aroma of decaying leaves, giving their life back to the soil, the sharp tang of pine, and the cool foundational scent of water and stone. It is the pure, unadulterated essence of nature, deeply calming, grounding, and restorative to the human spirit. In this final moment of quiet, peaceful contemplation, all the themes of the beaver's world gently reconnect and converge into a single, harmonious, and perfect whole. There is the stillness of the water, its constant protective embrace. There is the earth's quiet, unconditional generosity. There is the beaver's patient, methodical, constructive work. There is the profound warmth, darkness, and safety of the sanctuary within, and there is the gentle, continuous rhythm of care. All of these elemental forces merge, creating a singular, encompassing feeling of deep, abiding, and completely natural peace. The lodge, a small, dark, safe world floating in a sea of tranquility, becomes a gateway to the peaceful, sleeping vastness around it. It is an anchor point of peace in a restless world. It is a quiet, humble, and powerful invitation to surrender fully to the gentle, restorative embrace of the night, to find deep and profound rest in the quiet, steady, and life giving heartbeat of the wild. Let your mind drift now. Let go of the day's concerns. Feel the gentle pull of this quiet, dark, and utterly safe world. Follow the beaver into its perfect sanctuary and let your own mind drift gently, peacefully, and deeply into the quiet, dark, and safe world of the beaver's lodge. The final touch: the beaver, with its patient, knowing paws, has now brought the very last of the soft, yielding mud. It is a dark, rich mud, cool to the touch, gathered from the quiet edges of the pond where the earth meets the water in a gentle, soft embrace. This mud is special. It is the final layer, the smooth, protective skin that will seal the lodge, making it a true sanctuary. The beaver holds a small, damp clump, feeling its cool weight, its soft, pliable nature. There is no rush, no urgency in this moment, only the slow, deliberate movement of a creature completing its quiet, important work. The mud is pressed, ever so gently, into the tiny remaining gaps between the woven sticks and branches. A soft, squishing sound, almost imperceptible, accompanies each careful placement. It is a sound of sealing, of making whole, of bringing a quiet perfection to the structure. The mud spreads slowly, smoothly, under the beaver's patient touch. It fills the small openings, the narrow spaces where a whisper of cold air might otherwise creep in. It is a thick, comforting blanket drawn over the lodge's sturdy frame. The cool dampness of the mud is a promise of warmth within, a silent guardian against the chill of the coming night, against the deeper cold of the winter months that will one day arrive. Each stroke of the paw, each gentle pat, is a lullaby for the lodge, a soft, rhythmic motion that speaks of security and peace. The mud clings to the wood, embracing it, becoming one with the branches and twigs that form the lodge's strong, round walls. It is a slow, steady process, this final sealing, a meditation in motion, a quiet dance of creation. The scent of the mud rises, an earthy, grounding aroma. It is the smell of the forest floor, of damp soil, of the very essence of the wild, quiet world. The scent mingles with the faint, fresh smell of the water, creating a soothing, natural perfume that drifts gently on the still air. It is a scent that speaks of home, of safety, of being deeply rooted in the natural world. The beaver breathes in this scent, a silent acknowledgement of the completeness of its work, of the deep connection it shares with the earth and the water. The mud, once a loose, formless thing, now becomes a part of the lodge, a solid protective shell. It hardens slowly, imperceptibly, with the passing of time, growing stronger with each quiet moment, each gentle breath of the cool air. The surface of the mud, once rough and uneven, is smoothed with careful, deliberate movements. The beaver's paws glide over it, pressing out any small bumps, any tiny imperfections. It is a gentle caress, a final blessing upon the home. The mud yields, then holds, becoming a seamless skin. The water below the lodge, dark and still, reflects the faint light from the sky, a soft, shimmering mirror. The sounds of the pond are hushed, a gentle lapping against the base of the lodge, a soft whisper of reeds swaying in the barely there breeze. These sounds are now even more muffled, softened by the growing thickness of the mud walls, creating a deeper quiet within the lodge. The beaver works without haste, without a single hurried movement. Its focus is complete, absorbed in the simple, profound task of making its home perfect. The cool mud molds to its paws, a familiar sensation, a comforting weight. It is a dance as old as time, this building, this shaping of the earth to create a safe haven. The lodge rises from the water, a dark rounded mound, now almost entirely covered in the smooth dark mud. It blends with the shadows of the trees, with the deep quiet colors of the evening. It is a part of the landscape, a natural extension of the earth and the water, a testament to patient, persistent effort. The last few handfuls of mud are placed with the same quiet care as the first. Each one contributes to the growing sense of enclosure, of impenetrable safety. The lodge feels solid, secure, a warm, dry island in the cool, dark water. The beaver pauses, its work almost done, feeling the texture of the newly applied mud, its cool, smooth surface. A deep sense of quiet satisfaction settles over the pond, a stillness that reflects the completion of a long, gentle task. The mud is now a part of the lodge, and the lodge is now a part of the quiet, sleeping world. The air grows cooler, softer, as the last light fades from the sky, and the lodge stands firm, a silent promise of rest and peace. The mud holds, it binds, it protects. It is the final gentle touch. The water around the lodge is still, a dark reflective surface that mirrors the deepening twilight. The air is calm, carrying only the faintest whispers of the forest. The beavers work as a part of this quiet natural rhythm. The mud, now smoothed and settled, begins its slow, imperceptible drying, becoming a part of the earth itself, a strong, silent barrier. It is a process that unfolds without effort, without thought, simply as nature intends. The lodge, wrapped in its new skin of mud, feels complete, a perfect rounded shape rising from the water. It is a place of quiet dreams, of gentle slumber, of deep, undisturbed peace. The mud, cool and soft, now holds the warmth within. The inner sanctum. Within the lodge, a different kind of quiet settles. It is a soft, enveloping quiet, a hush that is deeper than the stillness of the pond outside. Here, in the heart of the beaver's home, the air is still and warm, a gentle contrast to the cool dampness of the outer world. The walls, now thick with layers of mud and woven branches, hold the warmth close, creating a cozy, protected space. The scent here is different too, a dry, comforting aroma of wood shavings and soft, dried grasses. This is the beaver's bed, carefully arranged, a soft nest within the sturdy structure. It is a place of deep comfort, a haven from all that lies beyond. The beaver moves slowly, deliberately, into this inner sanctum. Its fur, still damp from the water, will soon dry in the gentle warmth of the lodge. Each movement is unhurried, a quiet settling into the profound peace of home. The soft rustle of the dried grasses as the beaver shifts its weight is the only sound, a gentle whisper of contentment. The bed is deep, a soft hollow shaped by countless nights of rest. It cradles the beaver's body, offering a sense of security and belonging. This is where the day's quiet work gives way to the deep, restorative peace of sleep. The darkness within the lodge is absolute, a velvety blackness that soothes the eyes and calms the mind. There are no harsh lights here, no sharp edges, only the soft, embracing dark. It is a darkness that invites slumber, a gentle curtain drawn against the world. In this deep dark, the other senses awaken, subtly, the faint earthy smell of the mud from the outer walls, now a distant, comforting note. The subtle shift in air pressure, a gentle breath of the lodge itself, and most profoundly, the feeling of being utterly safe, utterly protected. The thick walls are a shield, a silent promise that no harm can reach this quiet place. The sounds from outside, the gentle lapping of the water, the distant rustle of leaves, are now mere whispers, soft and indistinct. They are transformed into a soothing hum, a natural white noise that encourages the mind to drift. The world beyond the lodge becomes a soft, indistinct dream, a distant echo that poses no threat, holds no urgency. It is a world that can be safely forgotten for a time, as the beaver sinks deeper into its peaceful repose. The quiet hum of the pond, the soft sigh of the wind through the trees, all become part of the lodge's own gentle breathing, a rhythm of peace. The beaver settles fully into its soft bed, its body relaxing, growing heavy with the quiet contentment of completion. The muscles tired from the patient work of building now release their tension, softening, yielding to the pull of rest. A deep, slow breath fills the small space, then releases, a steady, rhythmic sigh. This is the rhythm of sleep beginning, a gentle rocking motion that carries the beaver deeper and deeper into slumber. The warmth of the lodge wraps around it, a comforting embrace, a soft blanket woven from earth and water and wood. The feeling of the soft, dry grasses against the fur is a subtle comfort, a gentle texture that speaks of natural ease. It is a simple luxury, this bed, a perfect place for dreams to unfold. The beaver's heart beats slowly, steadily, a quiet drum in the deep silence. Each beat is a pulse of life, a gentle reminder of the peaceful existence within this watery home. There is no need for thought, no need for worry, only the profound simplicity of being, of resting, of being safe. The lodge holds it, cradles it, a silent guardian in the vast quiet night. The air within the lodge is still, undisturbed, carrying the faint, sweet scent of dried wood and earth. It is a pure, clean air, breathed in slowly, deeply, bringing a sense of calm to every cell. The darkness is a friend, a soft, heavy blanket that encourages the eyes to close, to stay closed. The mind, once occupied with the methodical tasks of building, now begins to quiet, to slow its gentle turning. Thoughts drift like soft leaves on a still pond, then slowly, gently dissolve into the quiet. The beaver's body grows heavier, sinking deeper into the soft bed, into the profound stillness of the lodge. It is a feeling of complete surrender, of letting go, of allowing the deep, natural rhythm of sleep to take hold. The warmth is constant, the darkness absolute, the quiet unbroken. This inner sanctum is a world unto itself, a perfect sphere of peace where the beaver can truly rest, truly be. The soft, dry grasses whisper no secrets, hold no demands, only the promise of deep, undisturbed slumber. The lodge breathes around it, a living protective shell, and the beaver breathes within it, a quiet, peaceful presence. The gentle pressure of the earth and water around the lodge is a distant, comforting presence, a subtle embrace that reinforces the feeling of security. It is a reminder of the strong foundations, the patient work that has created this perfect space. The beaver is a part of this quiet strength, a part of this deep natural peace. The inner sanctum holds it close, a warm, dark womb of rest, where time itself seems to slow, to stretch, to become an endless, peaceful moment. The soft, dry bed, the still, warm air, the deep, quiet dark, all conspire to invite the deepest, most restorative sleep. The watchful water and the silent forest. Around the lodge, the water rests, a silent, watchful guardian. It is the pond itself, vast and deep, holding the beaver's home in its cool, liquid embrace. The water is dark, reflecting the deep, soft hues of the night sky, a shimmering canvas of quiet stars, and the gentle glow of the moon. This water is not merely a boundary, it is a living, breathing part of the lodge's defense, a protective moat that keeps the inner world safe and undisturbed. Its surface is mostly still, a smooth, unbroken expanse, yet beneath, subtle currents move, a slow, unseen dance that speaks of constant, gentle vigilance. The water laps softly against the submerged entrance of the lodge, a quiet, rhythmic sound like a whispered secret. It is a gentle, repetitive motion, a natural lullaby that echoes the slow, steady pulse of the earth. This lapping is a constant reminder of the water's presence, its cool, protective embrace. It is a sound that soothes, that calms, that encourages the mind to drift, to let go of all thought. The water is cool, a refreshing touch against the outer walls of the lodge, a constant temperature that helps to regulate the warmth within. It is a living blanket drawn over the home, keeping it hidden, keeping it safe from prying eyes or curious creatures. The reflections on the water's surface are soft and indistinct, dancing with the faint light from above. A sliver of moonlight might stretch across the dark expanse, a silver ribbon on a velvet cloth, or perhaps the scattered pinpricks of distant stars, shimmering and winking, creating a tapestry of gentle light. These reflections are fleeting, ephemeral, yet they speak of the vastness of the night sky, of the quiet, endless universe above. They invite the gaze to soften, to blur, to lose itself in the gentle play of light and shadow. The water holds these reflections, then lets them go, a constant fluid motion of receiving and releasing. The water's cool embrace is a profound comfort. It is a natural barrier, a silent promise of security. No land-bound creature can easily approach the lodge, for the water surrounds it, deep and wide. The beaver has chosen its home wisely, building where the water offers its strongest protection. The subtle currents, though unseen, are always there, a gentle, unseen force that keeps the water fresh, keeps it alive. They carry tiny particles, small whispers of the world beyond, but they do so with such a slow, steady grace that they only add to the sense of peace. The lodge floats, seemingly on this dark, quiet water, a rounded island of safety. It is anchored deep below, rooted in the earth, but its visible form rests upon the water's surface, a testament to the beaver's patient engineering. The water supports it, cradles it, a gentle hand beneath a sleeping child. The weight of the lodge is borne by the water, effortlessly, silently. This symbiotic relationship between the solid structure and the fluid element is a source of deep, quiet harmony. It is a balance, a perfect equilibrium that speaks of the wisdom of nature. The sounds of the water are soft, almost imperceptible from within the lodge, yet their presence is a comforting knowledge. The gentle gurgle of a small bubble rising to the surface, the soft plop of a dewdrop falling from an overhanging branch. These are the quiet sounds of the pond, the murmurs of a sleeping world. They blend with the deeper silence, becoming part of the overall hush that settles over the landscape. The water is a mirror to the sky, a canvas for the night, and a guardian for the home. The cool air that drifts across the water carries the faint, clean scent of damp earth and fresh water. It is a pure, natural fragrance that cleanses the senses and invites a deeper breath. This scent is a part of the water's gentle guard, a subtle reminder of the vast, quiet world that surrounds the lodge. The water holds the secrets of the deep, the mysteries of the unseen, but it holds them gently, without demand, without urgency. It is a silent, ancient presence, a source of life and protection. The lodge is nestled within this watery embrace, a dark, rounded shape against the soft glow of the night. It is a place of profound stillness, a sanctuary where the beaver can rest, undisturbed, cradled by the gentle, watchful water. The water breathes in a slow, steady rhythm, a quiet exhalation and inhalation that mirrors the deep, peaceful breathing of sleep. It is a constant, unwavering presence, a soft, liquid shield that ensures the safety and tranquility of the home. The water is a gentle, silent guardian, holding the lodge in its cool, dark arms, inviting the deepest, most peaceful slumber. Drifting into slumber. Now, as the beaver rests deeply within its sturdy lodge, a profound sense of winding down begins to settle over everything. The world outside, the quiet pond, the hushed forest, all seem to soften, to blur at their edges, inviting a gentle drift into deeper and deeper slumber. The methodical placement of sticks and mud, the patient shaping of the home, all that quiet work is now complete. It has led to this moment of perfect stillness, this profound peace. The lodge stands firm, a dark, rounded shape against the soft glow of the moon, a silent testament to safety and security. The water, its gentle guardian, continues its soft, rhythmic lapping against the submerged entrance, a faint, distant whisper that is barely heard. It is a sound that merges with the quiet hum of the night, becoming part of the overall hush that encourages the mind to let go. The cool air that drifts across the pond carries the faint, clean scent of damp earth and fresh water, a natural perfume that soothes the senses, inviting a deeper, slower breath. Each breath is a gentle sigh, a release of all remaining tension, all lingering thought. Imagine yourself drifting, floating, like a soft leaf upon the still surface of the pond. The water holds you gently, effortlessly, supporting you completely. There is no effort needed, no direction to choose, only the gentle sway of the unseen currents, carrying you slowly, peacefully. You are safe, completely safe, cradled by the quiet strength of the natural world. The darkness around you is soft and comforting, a velvety blanket that wraps you in its gentle embrace. It is a darkness without fear, without worry, only the promise of deep, undisturbed rest. The sounds of the night grow even more distant, more indistinct. The hoot of the owl, the rustle of reeds, the soft plop of a dewdrop all become part of a soft, murmuring background, a gentle white noise that encourages your mind to quiet, to slow its gentle turning. Thoughts, like tiny ripples on the water, spread slowly, then gently, imperceptibly, dissolve into the vast, quiet expanse of the night. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to think, only to surrender to this profound sense of peace. Feel your body growing heavier, sinking deeper and deeper into the soft support beneath you. It is a comforting weight, a gentle pull that draws you down, down into the profound stillness. The warmth that surrounds you is constant, a cozy embrace that melts away any lingering chill, any subtle discomfort. You are perfectly warm, perfectly safe, perfectly at peace. The rhythm of your own breathing slows, deepens, becoming long and even, a gentle rocking motion that carries you further into the quiet depths of sleep. The beaver within its lodge is a symbol of this deep natural rest. It has built its home with patience and care, and now it rests, completely surrendered to the restorative power of slumber. Its dreams are quiet, its body still, its mind at peace. You too can find this same profound tranquility, this same deep, unwavering calm. Let the image of the lodge, strong and secure in its watery embrace, be a final comforting thought. It is a place of perfect safety, a haven where all worries fade, where only peace remains. Allow yourself to drift, to float, to sink deeper, deeper into the soft darkness, deeper into the gentle quiet. The world outside is fading, becoming a soft, indistinct hum, a distant memory. Your mind is clearing, becoming still, like the surface of the pond under the moon. All thoughts, all sounds, all sensations are softening, blurring, dissolving into the vast, peaceful expanse of sleep. You are drifting, floating, sinking deeper and deeper into the quiet, into the dark, into the profound, endless peace of sleep. The gentle rhythm of the water, the soft hush of the forest, the deep, quiet breathing of the beaver in its lodge. All these elements combine to create a perfect lullaby, a lullaby for your mind, for your body, for your very being. Let the quiet strength of the earth hold you. Let the gentle embrace of the water cradle you. Let the soft darkness of the night enfold you. You are safe. You are warm. You are at peace, drifting, floating, sinking deeper and deeper into the soft, quiet, endless sleep.